Hi everyone, thanks for joining the Halal in Travel Global Summit hosted by Crescent Rating. I'm Fazal Bahadin. I lead Crescent Rating and Halal Trip. Today I'll be moderating the session on how Muslim majority destinations are readying for the Muslim travel market post-COVID. I have some seasoned experts from Malaysia, Uzbekistan, and Maldives with me today. As they represent Muslim majority destinations, they have the advantage to tap into this segment as travel reopens. We'll find out what exact plans they have put in place to be ready for this sector. So I have with me today Dato Muhammad Razib Haji Hassan, who is the Director General of Islamic Tourism Center, or ITC, it's called, one of the agencies under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysia. He leads the center's role as an advisory body in matters pertaining to Islamic tourism and hospitality, as well as complementing and supplementing the functions of the ministry. I also have with me Said Komil Hojayev, who is the head of Halal Tourism Department at the Ministry of Tourism and Sport of the Republic of Uzbekistan. As the head of the department since 2018, he's actively working on the development of Muslim-friendly services in Uzbekistan. And finally, I have Dr. Hussein Sani Umar. He's a pioneer in the Maldives halal travel segment. He has been very active in promoting Maldives to the GCC region as a Muslim-friendly travel destination. Gentlemen, thanks for joining the session today. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So let me start off by asking all of you this question. We have had a pause during the last almost 12 to 15 months now, with travel being restricted, almost stopped actually in many parts of the world. So during this pause, maybe I start with Dato. What has been the focus of, let's say, Malaysia in terms of keeping the industry going, keeping, capacity building or marketing efforts? What has been the key focus of yours in the last, in the very difficult times, of course?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you very much, Mr. Fazal, CEO of Crescent Rating, for inviting me and also Malaysia in this panel session in conjunction with the Halal in Travel Global Summit. And also nice to meeting all our friends from Uzbekistan, also from Maldives, Mr. Dr. Sani and also Mr. Said. With regards to the Malaysian focus in capacity building and also marketing effort, obviously when the pandemic COVID-19 hit the world, we take all the necessary measures, including closing the borders to curb the spread of virus. And obviously many lost their jobs and source of income, including those in tourism, travel and hospitality industry. So what we do in terms of capacity building, first we review all the training needs and also the existing programs that we have put in place without realizing that COVID is coming. So when we realized that so many lost their jobs and also source of income, therefore there are greater needs to help them in terms of acquiring new knowledge. What actually this COVID-19 will be the impact? Was it in terms of their skill, in terms of their training? Because because the whole world almost stopped then. Then we realized, and we did our engagement with them, and then we asked what exactly they want. First thing, so they said, well, we cannot do much business. We cannot have a similar transaction like in the past. So they need, please help us in terms of rebuilding their capacity. To see differently of this, the new, what people call new normal. What do they mean by new normal? And then therefore, our basic link and also upskilling courses, and we sharing knowledge through series of engagement, and obviously nothing much you can do physical. We have to do online and also virtual. While in the context of marketing, we work very closely with our tourism board.
Mm-hmm.
For Malaysia, we have a Tourism Malaysia, one of very well-known tourism board in the world, and also the tourism state bodies.
Bodies,
Because
yeah.
yeah, because like Mr. Faisal, you are in Johor, so you see Johor is very active in promoting the state, and similarly it applies to other states. And very interestingly, they introduce very creative programs to entice domestic tourism, because you know
Okay,
during you cannot travel
true.
overseas, and then no one coming into the country. So they leverage on the strength of the local products, and then they make use of the technology, and
Right.
so suddenly people realize the importance of Zoom application,
True.
virtual seminar. No one heard that before. Even then,
True.
if we have that, no one have that interest, to have this. But just like today, we
True.
have our virtual seminar. And another key aspect that we realize, this is the best time to expose to the world,
Right.
even now, is to the domestic market, that there were many products that no one knows before.
Right. True.
So
True.
what we did, we did our product audit, and then the team went down to even to the small places, and try to realize probably this is the best thing for the next market when everything
Right.
is over now. So in short, I would say that for marketing, this is the time to relook at the product offer, and
Right.
also the quality of the products, whether the service delivery up to the standard before, and then what will be the standard after all this pandemic over. So all
Mm.
these will be the demand of tomorrow or the next month, and the importance of the destination to prepare themselves for the next wave of tourists coming
Travelers.
into
Travelers.
the
Yeah.
program. So this basically that what we
But
have been doing for the last 16 months, I would say.
6 months. Yes. Thanks. I'll come back to some of the questions again, but that will just go through quickly also what Uzbekistan has been doing, Said.
Once more, thank you very much, Mr. Fazal, for your invitation for this great event. It's an honor for me to participate. Well, I have heard the experience of Malaysia, and I can say that the same happened here in Uzbekistan. On the first months of the pandemic, the government, even the tourism board, didn't have any idea on what to do in the recent months because it was not clear whether it will continue for several years or it will just stop in the few months. So after the borders closed in Uzbekistan, and the government of Uzbekistan decided to quarantine the whole economy and the whole society, we started in the tourism business, to pay attention for the capacity buildings. And I have to mention here that the Crescent Ratings Academy was one of the first companies that initiated the capacity building programs and offered free courses for halal travel experts and the specialists in Uzbekistan's ministry. It was a great start for us. Then we have continued to organize seminars, online webinars for the whole members of the tourism stakeholders, for all the members of the tourism community on the halal travel. It was like on the Zoom platforms and webinars. I have to mention that once the pandemic started, most of the jobs was closed. Most of the business were closed in Uzbekistan, also mainly in the tourism industry. So one of the first steps the government of Uzbekistan took was to support the business. And Uzbekistan has exempted the business for 2 years, exempted the taxes from the tourism industry for 2 years. It is tax for land, tax for income, and tourism taxes. So many lots of support were given from the government, and also once the pandemic continued in Uzbekistan and the borders closed, lots of Uzbeks who were living abroad started to come back to Uzbekistan, and the hotel industry served as a place of quarantine for the incoming citizens. For 14 days, for 10 years, they've been quarantined in the hotels. Yeah. So the government supported hotel business, and hotels have, I may say, have earned some money even during the pandemic. But Uzbekistan, the Alhamdulillah is quite getting, and it's around 100 cases have been occurred since until now, and the situation is going smooth, and there's no like going up and downs and with coronavirus, and the situation is under control. So Uzbekistan has opened its doors, its borders in the beginning of the 2021 in the January. So we have restarted tourism 6 months ago.
Are the tourists coming there to Uzbekistan? You have some foreigners coming already?
Yes, mainly even during the pandemic, the business travel were still continued to Uzbekistan. So we had lots of business travelers, mainly workers from Turkey, from Afghanistan, and other countries. And now we have opened doors to mainly for regional countries and abroad. So if there are any, the doors are open for all countries, but the tourism is still depend on the foreign countries who have opened their doors for international travel. So if they are open, we're open still.
Okay. Thanks, Said. Quickly with Maldives also, just to put ourselves on the context. I think I want to really focus on what's in the future, but just to get where we were all this time. Sunny, how has it been in Maldives?
Thank you, Fazal, and I think this is a great initiative. Maldives, compared to Malaysia and Uzbekistan, I think it's pretty easy to manage since we are small islands. So whenever there's a case, we lock down the island. Mostly it's the capital, so it's very safe for the tourist. And most of the cases we have, separate places for them. And in terms of promotion, Maldives is doing really good. We have done a lot of promotion from last year, November, and it's still going on. We are inviting a lot of PR, news media. We are inviting a lot of celebrities from the countries that are open. So we are doing a lot of virtual seminars as well. Several campaigns have been run, like Visit Maldives Now, by partnering with Ooredoo and Maldives government, and also Visit Maldives as a virtual event. We have doing quite a lot actually. And apart from that, we have identified some new markets for Maldives from the Balkan region, like Romania, Hungary. So there's a huge potential for Maldives from these areas, as well as US. It takes roughly around 16 hours for them to come here. But we have witnessed somewhere around 50,000 arrivals from US. And India, of course, is our neighboring country. We have reached 100,000 visitors this year from India, but due to the new variant, we have locked down the entire SAARC region, most of the countries in SAARC region. So in terms of promotion, I think our promotion board and the ministry is doing quite well given the circumstances, but we are yet to see a lot going on. And in terms of halal travel, I have partnered with the Maldives tourism industry as well as the promotion board. This is the first time we launched Maldives halal travel as a platform and as a promotion campaign that we want to target this GCC region from government side. Earlier, we were not that much interested. I am sure, Fazal, there are several visits you came to Maldives, but at that time, the government wasn't ready, but now they are very interested. They are seeing the potential, especially from the resort side. So we have a couple of projects coming in the near future.
That's good. That's good. No, I think we interestingly we see that as the COVID restrictions are getting opening up, destinations are opening up. There is a renewed interest in the Muslim travel market by many destinations. Maldives is probably one. There are other destinations as well. Of course, Malaysia has been leading this scene for a long time. So, Dato, looking at looking forward, what do you see as your key challenges in sort of restarting tourism in general, but specifically also Muslim market?
Okay,
Because it's not easy to restart. So it has been battered so much, the industry. So what do you see as your key challenges here?
I like when Dr. Sani mentioned that Maldives is not as big as Uzbekistan and also as Malaysia, where not much movement need to be done. But in our case, still the challenge, the big challenge is because the big area that we have. If you know that we also two states on the island of Borneo, Sabah and Sarawak, and also another 12 states in the peninsula. And then each one state, they have their own uniqueness and they have their own strength. And of course, they have also some setback among the states. So to get back to what we have enjoyed in the past will not be possible because there are change of behavior, the trends, and then also the expectation from the tourists. Don't go that far as far as Europe, even within the ASEAN region. There are changes in terms of taste and preferences. So this is one of the key challenges. We have to ask ourselves whether they still stick to their own old habit or they are looking for new habit. And then if they change their habit, then we have to look into our stock. What exactly that we have in our product line, whether our product line is still applicable, is still of appeal to them. So in short, what we can do now is we have to check the awareness of the new behavior. And again, when we look into the Muslim market, even though the potential is big, we have 1.9 billion Muslim all over the world. It's a big market. And in the region of Southeast Asia, we have close at 300 million, including Indonesia and Malaysia and other countries as well. So the first challenge that we have is we want to know the level of awareness of this population towards Muslim-friendly tourism. Okay. This is why we are very happy to see Cressy Rating and also some of our partners around the world that you are giving us more confidence through your report, through your engagement, that this is the new market that's coming in a big way, and we cannot lose our sight about the potential market. And again, the second one is the industry itself, the buy-in from the industry. They're used to conventional tour packages, conventional content of the tour itinerary, and then to change their perception against Muslim tourism market, also another challenge to us. So we have to do a lot of engagement. We have to really instill the confidence among themselves. Okay, look here, the market is big. Come, don't be the last one to grab, because from the trend we see, you can see that non-Muslim country are also coming in a big way. You look even Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong. So they have their own program, and then I don't mind to say that even to one extent they are already far ahead.
In terms of marketing, yeah.
We have a salam this, salam that, and here we are. We're still struggling to have the buy-in process from our stakeholders. And that is why in Malaysia we are thinking how much more that can be done to have the buy-in so that we can rolling down our program immediately to the market so that we can enjoy the return from this exercise. So this is some the challenges that we see during the
So that the issue with the stakeholders, is it because they're not aware of the market, or is it an issue of it is a misunderstanding what the market is about, or what's the barrier for this the stakeholders to sort of jump into this market, jump into this wave?
I think we have the responsibility there, meaning that, as I said, they used to the old conventional practices. But when it comes for Muslim travel, they realize, but they want to know what exactly there.
Okay.
It is why Tourism Board and even ITC, we do a lot of engagement. We have a seminar, workshop to come up with a plan, some guidelines, so that when they have the package, it had a commercial value. It's a business value. Yeah,
Right.
It's what we do right now. We hold their hand and come together with us.
Thank you. Yes. So, I mean, before I go to Said, maybe Dr. Hussein or Dr. Sania, what was the change that as you mentioned, Maldives was at least the tourism board was not really looking at this market for many years now, but it has, as you said, it has slightly changed now. What was the factor that made Maldives sort of look at this market now?
I think Dr. said highlighted some of the key areas like aviation. People are not that aware, mostly the government board. They are not aware of the growing trends. I think we lack awareness, we lack what the potential about this market is, what are the components. I think Malaysia is developing halal industry itself from HDC, Halal Development Corporation. I thought our government authorities back in the days, they don't want to interfere into this market because they were happy with the European market. But since 2010, more properties are coming. We have now guest house tourism, we have other city hotel tourism, so more components have been grown over the years. So now they are looking into other markets. Earlier in the days, we don't need because it's Maldives. Everyone wants to visit Maldives. Now the biggest expansion is happening in the airport. So because we want to cater more people, we are expanding from 1.7 million to 2.8 million traffic. So new runways are coming, new airline partnership. Like I mentioned, from the Balkan region and other regions, we are exploring new market and then we are focusing on the GCC. Now, Fazal, the most impressive statistic is we have direct flights from Qatar, Emirates, and Saudi, and the total traffic from this area per year is like 650,000 tourists come. But in 2019, we were only able to get 40,000 Middle Easterners. So I showed them that statistics and the growth, and of course from the research from Crescent Rating and Dinar Standard, I showed them the statistics and everything. So I give them a pretty good case, like see the numbers, see what is happening and what are the changes coming to this Muslim segment, like hijab fashion is there, cosmetics are there, toiletries are coming, so many areas happen. So the new government, they are very interested, especially the promotion board. Mr. Toyib is the managing director. I think he has an eye for exploring into new markets. That's the most key fundamental change that happened over the years.
Thanks, Said. I know, of course, Uzbekistan has been, at least in the last 2-3 years, has really pushed this market pretty aggressively. So, what are the sort of how is Uzbekistan looking at catering to this market as we go forward?
You said we have started to look at the Muslim travel market since 2017. It's like 3 or 4 years. Well, actually, if we look at the tourism statistics, even if the country is quite big as compared to Maldives and very similar to Malaysia, we have 30 million people living here. The tourism statistics were very low before 2017, and it was around 1.7 million international visitors to Uzbekistan, and the country was very locked. And then the government decided to open the doors for international visitors and promoted tourism as one of the spheres of one of the strategic spheres of the economy. Now, before pandemic, the statistics tripled and reached 6.7 million international visitors. If you look at the tourism potential of Uzbekistan, we are not located like Maldives in the ocean, or we have no beaches, and we have limited landscape. As you have been in Uzbekistan, it's like half part of Uzbekistan in our mountains, and there are lots of deserts. So we thought about how to promote Uzbekistan, and when we looked at the tourism potential, we see the Islamic architecture, which is very famous, and there is no similarity of Uzbekistan's Islamic architecture in the world, and it was. We had lots of Islamic heritage, Imam al-Bukhari's mausoleum, Imam at-Tirmizi's mausoleum, and unique copies of Quran. In other words, there was a huge history. We have decided to promote it to the Muslim market, and with the help of the GMTI reports, the government understood that the importance of the travel market, Islamic travel market, and started to promote to look at this market. But the main challenge still, even after 4 years, the main challenge are the not awareness of the tourism stakeholders on the importance of the Muslim travel market. Until now, the main tourists came from Western countries, from Italy, from France, from Germany, and almost all the hotels and the restaurants, touristic restaurants and activities were dedicated to cater for Western tourists. And if you invite a Muslim who observed the Islamic rules, it was not easy to. It was not it was not suitable for him to go to touristic hotels or touristic activities in Uzbekistan. So the main problems until now is to reshape or rebuild the touristic infrastructure, and to ask and to get the tourism stakeholders to cater for Muslim travelers. And also one of the advantages of implementing the halal tourism standards in Uzbekistan was it helped domestic tourism to raise, because as more than around 90% of Uzbek population are Muslims. Tourism was not familiar for local people. If you consider tourism, it was like Western style recreation activities and others, but we didn't have any information about halal possibilities of organizing travel in a halal way. So we have started to build halal hotels, halal Muslim-friendly shopping areas, and Muslim-friendly resorts in the mountains, and also that helped us to boost or to support the domestic tourism. This is what we got one of the advantages of implementing halal travel. And also, unlike to Malaysia or Maldives, we observed Hanafi school of jurisprudence, fiqh in Uzbekistan. So prayer rooms, prayer facilities in mosques are not allowed for women until now. But once the tourism board started to promote prayer facilities in airports, even in mosques, now we have organized prayer facilities in mosques also, which helped women also to freely travel across the country. And also still the language problems, not knowing even Arabic and English language among the population and among the travel agencies, even, or the lack of information in Arabic and English in touristic activities are still main problems. And in the future years, in the upcoming years, we want to solve these problems. This is the main challenge what we face.
Thanks, Said. No, I think it's really good to see. I mean, Uzbekistan has such rich Islamic heritage. It's just that it has not been fully exploited for tourism. I think you're doing it now. It's a great place to go. I've been there. Dato, have you been to Uzbekistan?
Yeah, I never been to Uzbekistan. Even the other day when I had the opportunity to meet His Excellency the Ambassador of Uzbekistan in Malaysia. Inviting, so I told him, inshallah, and just about to make a decision, and the whole world has been locked down. So
Down. Yeah, no, it's a great place. Just some final question for each of you. I think, what would be, let's say, the key strength of Malaysia for Muslim travelers to come to Malaysia? What are, if you, I mean, I'm going to ask same question from Saeed and Dr. Sani as well. What are, what's going to continue to be the key strength of Malaysia even as we open up for lockdown, especially for Muslim travelers who wish to come to Malaysia?
Okay, in the case of Malaysia, while we still promoting our existing strength like multiracial and rich cultural heritage, biodiversity, talking about nature and flora, and also the accessibility to Malaysia. Malaysia is well connected, and we do believe even after the pandemic, the same strength will be promoted. But I want to share one strategy that we have introduced in Malaysia to fulfill the needs of Muslim traveler. I really have some. Mr. Said did raise about the difficulty some Muslim when they travel overseas to have halal food, prayer facilities, and then even in the hotel room. So they have encountered some problem, and we do realize that in order to attract more rival and then our friend from overseas, they have comfortable when they stay in the hotel. Therefore, in 2019, we introduced what we call Muslim-friendly accommodation recognition, or in short, we call it MFAR. So right now we have recognized more than 40 hotels in Malaysia, from the local chain up to the international chain, so all over the country. And as I mentioned just now, no one expected this to be a big do. But when we tested the market, we invited all the hotel to come forward on complimentary basis. We said, okay, take this and apply to the hotel and then see what next. So Alhamdulillah, it's been recognized, and then most hotel now they have a Qibla sign, so they don't have a problem to find where the Makkah direction is. Then when they ask for a prayer mat, it's always there. And then when they want to recite Al Quran, they can ask for request. And then for ladies, they want to use the swimming pool. They have a different time for family and female, and also for public. For when they come for convention, for conference, there are musala or surah, we call it in Malaysia, available. And the most critical, when they come to a particular hotel, they only ask, do they serve halal food? So this is the most attractive segment. We say yes, because in Malaysia we call it JAKIM. This authority look after the halal certification, and all these hotel, before we can recognize them as a Muslim friendly accommodation, they must make sure that their kitchen halal. Halal food. So this is some areas that Malaysia would like to to work very closely with our friends from Maldives, from Uzbekistan, and also from other countries, how that we can leverage, and at the same time we also exercise our responsibility to ease our Muslim travelers coming to Malaysia and also to other parts of the world.
Thanks, Arthur.
You want to
So,
share?
yeah, thank you very much. Sunny, Dr. Sunny, what will be some of the key strengths of Maldives or Muslim travelers as we reopen?
So, Fazal, when I checked how the regulations and policies are here, according to the Islamic Ministry, almost all the resorts are actually 100% halal. What they have is they have to acquire a different license and different formalities if they want to bring alcohol and pork and those things. These are international hotels who have this. But if we remove these two components, almost all the resorts, there are big villas, and we have these secluded villas in the sea. And if you look into Gili Lankamfuri, which is a resort, so by boat only you can access. So the beauty and everything, these are phenomenal strengths that we have. And Maldives is a 100% Muslim country. And apart from that, if you leave any kid on the beach, no one will touch them. Like outsiders cannot come into the resort without prior reservation. Not even the employees. So by number, by name, all the resorts, they know who are the coming in and going out. So there are phenomenal strengths we can use. And I think the only thing missing from our side is the promotion. We have to go and tell them, look, we have this, look, we have this. And I think Malaysia has done amazing job. I was there for 13, 14 years. All my studies mostly happen in Malaysia. I think all the families who can afford to go Malaysia, they love the.
Said, your
Yes.
thoughts on looking forward. I think you have a lot of plans for Uzbekistan in the next months and year. I think, how are you going to leverage on the Muslim market in terms of the future plans? Yeah.
As I said before, Uzbekistan has a rich Islamic heritage, and I think it will be one of our strengths in the market. But the main problem still, as in Maldives, we have problems with promotion and advertising of our history, our heritage, our potential to Muslim travel market. But we have started 2 years ago to organize, to attract Muslims to Uzbekistan with different kind of touristic products. Like as in Saudi, they offer Saudi festivals. We like in Saudi, we offer Ziarah Tourism Week, which will be the show of our full potential of Uzbek Islamic heritage. We want to market Uzbekistan as it is, which is the center of Islamic civilization in the past, and we want to really feel. We want Muslims to really feel the rich history of Islam in the golden age, in the medieval times. As you have been into Uzbekistan, it's very hard to explain with words how the beauty of Uzbekistan and its rich history. So this will be our way to promote Uzbekistan, like in the center of Islamic heritage in Uzbekistan. And after pandemic, even if it stops or not, I don't know, we want to organize the next Ziarah Tourism Week in December this year. It will be a set of different types of touristic activities like conferences, as well as fashion shows, as well as the show of traditional folklore music, and also Sufi music, and also Islamic calligraphy, Islamic architecture. So those who will visit Uzbekistan in Ziarah Tourism Week will have information about the richness of richness of the travel market of Uzbekistan. So I think, inshallah, we will invite you, Mr. Fazal, Dato Hassan to come to Uzbekistan and be the guests and keynote speakers in this event. I think as we have planned before, we will organize, maybe we will organize Halal in Travel conference during this event. Inshallah.
Thank you, Said. Thanks, Dato. I think thank you very much for sharing all those insights. I think I really think that countries like Malaysia, Uzbekistan, Maldives have a huge potential to attract the Muslim market because by nature the countries are very Muslim friendly, right? It's about I think it's about promoting and also collaborating within each with each other will probably boost overall the market of Muslim travel. Yeah. So thank you very much for all of you for sharing today, and we hope you will have the chance to visit each other, Maldives, Uzbekistan, and Malaysia. Thank you very much. And for those who have been listening to us today, thank you very much. We have tuned in to attend this session, and we all wish you to have a great day ahead. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Thank you.